Welcome to the Downey organization team meeting, and this month we have Bridal Showers by Kayla Peterson. So thank you everybody for joining, and over to you, Kayla.
Okay. I do quite a few bridal showers. We got back from Disney and I had 3, and my total for the 3 on that weekend was a little over 5,000. So I have another one tomorrow night, so I do quite a few of them. I keep them very simple. I don't try to elaborate too much on them. I'm just going to go over different steps that I do with my hostess and go over that part of it. So I'm going to share my screens a lot just so that way you can see what I do and kind of go that way if that's all right. Make sure that I do this right. Okay, so this is my invitation.
Kayla, can they see you?
Can you see it? What?
Yep, everybody can see that.
Everybody can see it? Okay. And this is just my simple invitation that I use and send out to each host. And I go in and change it. It's just a little poem. I didn't come up with this. I stole it when I first started and just have revamped it several times to accommodate what I do, what I'm wanting to do. A lot of times where it says the bring, I will put bring a pantry item that starts with the first letter of your last name. So a lot is because mine's Peterson. I'll say I bring the Pampered Chef, or you could bring, like if it's K, you can bring ketchup, those type of things. So that's kind of fun, as long as the bride doesn't live too far away and has to pack all the stuff back. Like this one that I'm having Monday, the wedding is next Saturday, so they didn't want to do that. It was kind of a fast thing that we threw together. And then on the bottom, I say if you want to do the monetary donations, feel free to mail those to me. And then RSVP regrets only by July 10th. So, and sometimes people will want you to put RSVP instead of just regrets, but I tend to have a better response if I just do regrets. And it's usually people are pretty good about that portion of it. So that's just my simple invitation. And I email this to my host, and then I let her print it out. In my email, I just say, hey, make sure everything is correct, read it over, make sure I spelled everybody's names right. And then she can print it out and mail them out. With the postal system now, they do require to have them in an envelope because you can't mail just a plain piece of paper. Anyways, in Nebraska, you can't. So they do have to put them in an envelope, and I let them know that when I send it to them so they don't get them all back in the mail, or you have to add more postage to them. And then I send out a hostess letter. This goes out to my host. And it's pretty simple. It says, I enclose a letter that I gave to Melinda. The letter explains how the shower works. Take a look at it and let me know if you have any questions. If there are out-of-town guests or relatives that would like to participate, they may look at our website, and direct ship can be arranged if we know what they would like to purchase. Just have them give me a call if they are wanting to order off of her wish list. Otherwise, everything will be sent to one of you. We can decide who wants to ship it to their house via FedEx approximately 14 days after we close the show. Melinda will end up as the host. Feel free to pass the catalog around to everyone, as every order benefits Melinda. If you get any outside orders, I will put a couple of order forms for you to follow. The important thing is to note that in Nebraska, we pay tax on shipping and handling. Tax will be wherever we are shipping the show to. You can always call me within order and I will verify the total for you. I have several ideas for food, but we will wait to see approximately how many RSVP and we can plan there. Please call me with any questions. It is exciting to do bridal showers and I just love them. So that's what I send to my hostess. And then I also send this to my bride. This is a little bit longer. I reformatted it. Kind of looks funky because to fit on I get the paper from that store that has the Pampered Chef logo on the bottom. I think it has a pot now that I bought last year, and I just print them off on there. So it's a little bit more Pampered Chef than just a regular piece of paper. This one is Sarah. I'm excited to do your Pampered Chef bridal shower. I wanted to send you a note to let you know how Pampered Chef bride show works. It's pretty easy. I am sending you a catalog to help you choose your products. We will close your bridal shower on Sunday, which makes it very important you will have some ideas on what you would like. You might, for example, highlight all the products that you really, really want and make a list of A, B, and C products. Right now, the wish list online is not working correctly, so it's easier for me to get your list to you. To get your list is to have you mail me the book back that you highlighted all the items, or if you would like, you can email me your list. I suggest to register for over $3,000 worth of products so it gives your guests a good variety. Let me know if you have any questions. Then I will make a list and print it out and bring it to your shower. It's hard for me to say how much money you will have to spend because I don't know how many people are coming in. I'm going to guesstimate that you will get everything on your A list, totaling about $300, plus three half-price items, which you must pay for, and approximately $115 in free product. Your guests will purchase items off your wish list. We will present you as the bride and then proceed with the show. Guests will be able to place orders for themselves, thus increasing your benefits. If you know of anyone that wants to order products, will also increase the number of items you will get. So feel free to share the catalog with your friends and family and coworkers that can't make it to the shower. We will then figure the dollar amount you get for free after that, and away you go. Your higher priced items are great to get as half-price items. Plus, you'll notice the half-price combinations are a fantastic way to consolidate and really get the most out of your half-price options. After that, feel free to use your discount if there's anything else you haven't gotten already. And then in June, the Hostess Special, you can choose one of the items off the sheet I enclosed at 60% off, which you must pay for. And our Guest Special in July, I forgot to change the June. In July, you spend $70. You can choose one of the items on the sheet enclosed for free. This is a fabulous time for a shower, with such great promotions. And I won't keep reading, but that's what I send my bride. And then I also send a copy of it to my host as well. Then after I send all that, and I send 2 catalogs, I send the flyers for the Hostess Special and the Guest Special. And then I also send a sheet that says if I could be a Pamper Chef consultant, just some information about the business, and some order forms. And I copy the order forms off and use them that way. And that's how I send my packets out to my brides. I give them 2 catalogs because then I don't have to pay any extra shipping. One for them and one for them to pass around. So those are the 3 things that I use. And then they'll email me their list back. And I just go into their show that I've created and click post wish list. And I'm just going to type in a couple numbers.
Kayla, we can still only see your Word document.
Okay.
When you stop sharing for a minute and then go back to share.
Okay.
And hit the first thing over to the left.
Now can you see it?
Yep.
Okay. So I just go into my show and I click on the top tab. It says host wish list. And then if you just type in some, and then what I do, and a lot of people do this different ways. This is the simplest way for me because a lot of times they'll mail me the book back or they'll send me an email with just the numbers and the items that they want. If you highlight the items and you Control-C, you can copy those items. And then I click my Excel document. Can you still see this?
Right now, all we can see is the web page.
Okay. Hold on. Then I'll click with my Excel worksheet, or you can use anything that you want to. I just like Excel. And I'll paste it. Whoops. And then I just resize everything to make it look right. And then I print this out on cardstock. So if they give me an A, B, and C list, I have different colored of cardstock. So then I do their A list in yellow, their B list in blue, and their C list in pink or something like that. And so then I remember what list is what. Then I'll also go back after I've printed it out once on the cardstock. Then I go and I sort it by amount in Excel. So that way, and then I print off 2 copies. I print off one for them and one for me. And so then that way at the show, when I get done with all the orders, I can go beside each item and write who bought what item. So then they have that for their list. Also, it makes sure we don't have any duplicates.
Do you have an example of one you can open up real quick just to show them what this would look like?
No, because I don't keep them.
Okay.
Because I don't redo them, sorry. I just format it to make it look nice, so it's the full page. And then I cut out each strip and take them to my show with me, so that way, and lay them on a table. And then when they come in, I also offer the apron, but I do charge the $13 to my hostess for that. So that way, that's something that they pay me back for. And so then I have the apron there, and then I have their wish list cut out. And then I have one of the hostesses stand there and say, okay, take whatever tab you want with you to purchase her. And then Kayla will go over how all that is going to be put together at that point. I forgot to. And then I also have, I'm kind of jumping here. I do my bridal order form probably different too. I think I got this from, I don't know who I got it from. And this will show you, oops, that's not what I wanted to show you. Did I open that?
We can see part of it.
Okay, there you go. It says for the couple and it says for myself. And so that's what I take to my bridal showers. I just copy them off. So they don't actually get a receipt that day, but they get the emailed receipt. And then these are easier to take, and I make copies then after I get done. And we close out the show, and I send them to the host that's going to have to separate them out. So that way she knows what goes to the bride and then what goes to them theirself, and it kind of separates it out. And then once they see that, then they put whatever item they picked up, they put on for the couple, and then they fill out them for myself. And I make the joke when I start, so everybody knows I need the top filled out completely, for sure, your name and your email and your phone number. And then I put, whatever you want to purchase for the couple, you can do that. And then whatever you want to purchase for yourself, is that if that's not enough room for yourself, we can get you another order form. So that way it doesn't limit them to thinking they can only order that many items, because there's not that many lines for them if they want a lot of things. So then I have them bring that up, and I finish totaling it out for them and kind of go that way with that at the show. And then at the show, then, like I said, after everybody's kind of ordered, as they're ordering, the list that I print out that has all their items by amount, then it's easy for me to find the item rather than playing the search and find. Or you can do it by, if you want to do it by item number, you can do that as well. And then you can find them really easy, and I just write beside each item that way. Let's see, what else do I do? I try to keep my stuff really to a minimum at my bridal showers. I usually talk about just the main stuff at my bridal showers. I don't know what to say. I keep it very simple. Do introductions, and I do the introductions as tell us how you know the couple, and what your name is, and what pantry item you brought, or what recipe you brought. And then people will forget that stuff, which is fine. Why I started doing that is because I had little old ladies that needed to bring an item with them. So they were bringing sheets, and they were bringing all these things that then they wouldn't buy anything for the bride. So if they walk in with a pantry item, they brought something to the shower, and so that makes them happy. And so they just seem to like that better. So that's why I started doing the pantry item with the recipe. And sometimes they'll coordinate it, sometimes they won't, just depending on what they want to do. I just let them kind of do it however they want to. And then I kind of talk about, depending on the recipe, like tomorrow night we're making chicken bruschetta. So we're going to have to start that, and then kind of go back and forth, talking about products and talking about that kind of stuff. And I have the bride come up and help me. So she'll be cooking the pasta, and she'll be cooking the chicken and everything while I'm doing the talking and that kind of thing. and let them use the tools and show that, because that's why they are there, is to watch the bride, not watch me. So I tend to make them do it rather than me do it and go that way. Does anybody have any questions? It's very, I don't know.
Kayla, can you hit stop sharing, and that way,
Yep.
there you go. Everybody can.
I was trying to figure out how to do that as I was talking to you.
And I'll make sure I get copies of all the documents from Kayla, so I'll put them in the Evernote link with the recording of this call and with the notes that I'm taking while she's talking. No questions from the peanut gallery about bridal? Anybody have anything they would interject that maybe they do a little differently or they find helpful to add to this kind of show type? All right, Carrie, let me unmute you. I think you unmuted yourself. Go ahead, Carrie.
Hey, Kayla, it's not really a question, but I really like the pantry idea, because I agree sometimes people, the littler, older people are confused and they want to, like you say, bring that. So I thought that was a really great idea. So thank you.
Yeah. And a lot of times, like if you have everybody that has the same last name coming and your host says, oh my God, everybody that's coming is going to have the same last name. Sometimes we'll change it to their first name, bring a pantry item with their first name. Like I did one that last week in June, and everybody's name was going to start with a G that was coming. And there wasn't enough G things that we could think of. So we decided to go with the first letter of their first name instead of their last name. So.
All right, go ahead, Michelle.
Sorry, had to unmute myself. I love all this information. I can't wait to get all of the documents, because I think that I especially loved your order form, Kayla. That was awesome. Something I know I do just a little bit differently is but I love the Excel document. I just don't use them because I don't know how.
Right.
But, I put the pictures on index cards. I print them off that way, and then they have the index card with the picture and the price. And then when I get to the bridal shower, I put those according to price as well. But I love the A, B, and C idea too. So I think I could do that with the index cards still as well, and maybe organize that way too. So I love that idea.
Well, and I used to when I print them out, put them by price. And what I found were people weren't even looking at the item that they were purchasing. They were just buying it because that was what the price range was. And when I started separating them out, they were looking at what they were buying. And if they had that item, sometimes if their price range was $20 and they had the item that was $35, they'd buy the $35 item. And I kind of stood there a few times, kind of listening. And I'm like, okay, I'm doing this wrong, because they would have bought the $35 item if it wasn't for in order. Because they would look at the $35 item and go, oh, I use that bar pan all the time. So then I switched it up and I quit doing the price, and they would pick up that first item that they seen that they used, rather than trying to keep searching for an item that was in their price range, because they didn't want to stand there that long, because people are waiting on them to move out of the way. So that's why I did change that. I used to do it by price.
Awesome.
One other thing is also that I love the idea of letting the A, B, and C list, because I think people are more apt to buy what she really wants, no matter what the price is, versus maybe some of those smaller things that she can get for her free stuff.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that's a great idea. That's all I think.
Okay, I can't remember if Laura was next or Jamie. Go ahead, Laura.
So I had a show recently that ended up turning into kind of a bridal shower. So people shopped for themselves, and then they shopped, like my friend had her soon-to-be sister-in-law and brother circle things they wanted. So it wasn't really like set up like a bridal show. It wasn't really set up like a normal show. But I had to go in and do and I'm really new at this, so there could have been a better way. But is there a way that some of them lived in Florida, some lived in Mississippi, some lived in Virginia, some lived in Vermont, like to separate the shipping where it doesn't go to the host. And you had the awesome order form, but if it's like, well, they all wanted it to go to the couple, they didn't want to have to ship it during the wedding. Any suggestions of a better way to handle that?
In
The only
the
thing you can-
cart.
What?
Are you saying like in the cart, like on when you're entering the order, you can split ship a guest's cart?
Okay, I don't know if
But it does cost them more shipping. So a lot of times what I'll do is they won't get their free item, and I let them know this because it's going to save them on their shipping. It depends if they want to pay them more shipping and get the free item. But sometimes in that case, I'll just take all the items that go to the couple and make an order just in like her fiance's name, and then have that ship all one direction, and then the other stuff ship the other direction, because it's going to cost a lot more on every order to ship different ways.
Yeah, and I guess if you were as the consultant or just absorbing, if you just wanted to absorb the like $9 or the 4%, like say it was really big, like a $200 order, it wouldn't be that big of a deal as of trying to charge everybody the $5.25 to go to the host and then the $7.25 to be the direct ship.
that makes sense. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, Jamie.
Kayla, I think I do a lot of this the same you do, but I think Chrissy has this problem too. I saw in your letter that you put the half price and 60% off that they have to pay for them themselves. And this run into problems a lot where they either get cash and they know they're getting that cash. They say, no, I want to use that for my 60% off or something like that. How do you deal with that?
That you must pay for out of your own pocket is why I put that in there. And I explain that to my hostess. A lot of times I don't talk to the bride up ahead of time, so I'm always talking to the host. And I just tell them straight up, she has to pay for that out of her own pocket. And then I tell them when we get money, I put that order into her fiance's name. That money all goes towards her fiance's name. And a lot of times, unless they're seasoned people, they don't understand the whole process. So I don't mention half price items, 60% off or nothing until I have that money spent. And then I say, okay, so you have $150. This is going to move you to that $1,200 or $1,000. And then you're going to, after that, you're going to have $215 in free product. I don't tell them that you can use that for that because then they won't get that $215 in free. So I tell them we have to spend this first to get this. And then after they spend the $215, a lot of times they are done. They just don't even want to think about it. So then I say, okay, I know you're done. I know this has been a lot. Here's where you get to go home. Take your list home. You look at your list and see if there's anything you want to change. Because if you want to exchange anything, I'd rather have you exchange it now than when you get everything in and we got to send it all back. So check out your list and see if you want to do any exchanges. It's just like you had something bought at Bed Bath & Beyond and you wanted the other item more than you wanted the item that they bought you. So you took it back to Bed Bath & Beyond and got the item you wanted. And so I have them do that. And then I say, okay, now you also have 5 half price items. You can use them, but you have to pay for them out of your own pocket, or you lose them. If you don't use them when we close your show, you don't get them back. So this is the options. Also, you can get one of these items at 60% off if you want to, but that's up to you. And then I send them home and I say, okay, let's talk tomorrow. So a lot of times I don't have them pick out that half price item or the 60% off item at the show because it's less important to me. And then it doesn't seem like as big a deal. But then you'll get the moms and you'll get the aunts that are, like well seasoned. They know the drill. And I will just be like, nope, this is how I do my showers. I want to get her to the highest level that she can get so she gets the most free product. That's why I'm here, is to get her free product and get her that product into her kitchen.
And a lot of times, you just don't want the bride and groom to have to spend any money out of pocket. And I will sometimes coach them to say, well, that's when we'll ask mom or mother-in-law if they want to go ahead and buy a wedding present or a Christmas present and of something off your wish list, and they can use your half price items and they can pay for it.
Right. And I think that is where we run into it a lot with seasoned people.
Mm-hmm.
Go home that night and talk to their mom, and their mom's like, oh, well, you could have spent all this money and just got the cookware. And we've gotten burned by that a couple of times, but I kind of like your idea too of just not even talking about it until everything's done and then bringing it up.
Because then that money's spent, and what, you know, then if they call you back and say, well, I want to use 150, I say, okay, well then you got to take off this amount and you're free, because you don't get that much free, and then plus you don't get 5 half price items. When you start taking things away from them because they take that money away, oh, sorry, this stuff I have to take away now, and that's not my problem. That's your problem at this point. So that's what I tend to, I'm trying to make it where if we don't use the money there, then it's going to cause big hate and discontent.
Right. And I like the way you said it too, with this is the way I do my showers. Cause
yeah,
I think we pretty much have the same letter that you use that we send out. And it's just like, sometimes we go with the, you know, this is the way the company set it up to get you the most. And, you know, we obviously highlight, this is the way you get the most free, but heavily we still have people that come back and want to spend all their money that way. So
and a lot, but then I get soft in my old age. If there is, like, say I have $25 extra and it's not helping her, I'll say, oh, you know what, we have $25 extra, we can use that towards your half price item. And so then it makes me look like I am considerate a little bit and letting her use the $25 and not taking it all away from her. So I try to get them to that next level of where they cap out at the 100. And then I say, okay, if we spend this, then you get this, and then we have this left over, so then you can use that towards your half price items. Or I tell them, you know, if we get any more money in the mail, then I'll, you know, as long as the show hits $1,000, I'm a little bit more lenient. But if we're not hitting $1,000, then I'm taking everything I can get, because that's not fair to me, because it's a lot more work and the bride.
Speaking of that, so you don't close them that day?
I don't. I let them stay open just a couple days. Well, I get all that. I get their free and free stuff and that money order. And then I let them go home, because you'd be surprised at I'm surprised at how many guys help make out the wish list. I've even had the groom show up at the shower at the end to help finish picking out everything. So I want them to feel comfortable knowing what they're getting, and if they want to exchange, because I did close my shows, you know, pretty much that day. Well, then you have checks coming in the mail, and what are you going to do with those checks? And then you have to put it on another order if they just want to use the money to order, or you have to send them the check. So I'd rather wait, because say I get $100 check in the mail, I'm going to make her spend that so she can get more free. I'm not going to let her spend that for her half price items. So that's why I tend to leave them open just a couple days to let the checks come in. Because if somebody forgot, or you might get a phone call, hey, I was going to make the shower, but I didn't, I want to send a check. So then I'll say, okay, so-and-so sent in a check for this amount. We have that yet to spend. That's why I tend to leave mine open, but not much more than a couple days.
Thank you.
Carrie has another question.
On your wish list, when you go in there and make that wish list, I'm not big on Excel. I'm not sure, you know, I need a lesson, I suppose. Does it copy? I mean, can you go in and copy and paste all of that to move it into a Word document? And would it copy the pictures of the guys, the little products too, or not?
It doesn't. Well, it will if you can get the pictures. The way I do it, you can't. I don't get the pictures. Okay. But it's just more ink if you do the pictures, because you got to use your color ink then, and I'd rather just use my black and white ink. Yeah. So
Carrie, there is a way that I have done it, that I've actually taken like whatever the wish list is and actually put it in her cart. And then I send the receipt to myself, and embedded in the email is like, it shows the item number, the description, and the price.
Okay, that's an idea.
And I've just like, actually, there's a way I've manipulated it to this, because it's if you just bear with me technology wise for a second. In that email, like, you know, you'll have what you're used to seeing at the top with like the person's name and everything, but the actual items, it's like almost like a table embedded in your email, the mail itself. You can copy just that table and like paste it over into Word.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
So and that's what Tiffany did that different than me, but I couldn't remember how you did that, Tiffany.
Yeah, and so like actually Christy and I walked through that last summer when she was having an issue, and I think I made a video, like a screen video on that, but that was the only way I could figure out how to make sure I got the price, the item number, the description, and the picture all in one place. Yep. Because there was that whole issue with the wish list too. Now there is a way, like I think Kayla and I worked through last year, that if you hit wish list and if you click like share with consultant, it doesn't work. But if you hit like email the wish list, you can then type in the consultant's email address, and that works. But it's just one of those weird things that we figured out from just playing with it.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody else have anything they want to ask or add? I know one thing that I've done with that same order form that Kayla has, because that's been floating around for a while, is in the top section, I think I added a space where I had for the wedding. So I had people deciding now what they wanted for the shower, what they wanted for the wedding later, and then also for themselves. So I think I have 3 sections in mine. Or I might have just told them in that one section that says for the bride and groom, like put a S for shower and W for wedding. So I make sure that the wedding stuff goes back to the guests because they want to wrap it and take it to them at the shower. I mean, at the actual wedding. Unless there's a travel situation going on and they don't want to fly with it or, drive with it, then I just make sure that I know that and make note of that when I'm inputting the order. Jamie, were you going to add something?
I was going to ask you if you let them take the wedding stuff then, or if you took it back to the guests.
Yeah, and sometimes I have them do it like on the down low, and they're like, well, don't tell her I'm going to give her this at the wedding, but what else is on her wish list? I just have to strategically, when we're going over her wish list, say you've got your A, B, and C list or whatever, and, she's trying to spend her free product, you're just going to kind of say, well, just know that's been purchased. Because, even if you were registered on Target, you can tell what's been purchased. You just don't know who's purchased it.
Yeah, that's good. I think in the past I've asked the bride before, and I said, you care if you get wedding gifts here too, and then I just do it all. Most of the guests don't take them home because I tell them, it's them to save yourself wrapping paper and messing with it that day. But that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, I mean, grandma might want to wrap it, but your cousin may be like, oh, yeah, just give it all to her. Whatever. You can have it all now.
Hey, do either of you have a place on that? I looked at it briefly, but that says, I just want to give cash. Or do you not have them fill anything out? They just bring you cash if they're not picking out an item?
That's a good question.
Usually they just come up to me and ask me, so can I just do cash? I'm like, oh yeah, you can just do cash, but I don't say it during my show because I don't want them to do that, because then that also avoids that ending problem of mom and aunt wanting you to use that money. So I'll say, or they might bring up, say, here's such and such item for $20. Mm-hmm. I just then take that $20 and make sure I put that item to her name, and then I add it to that order, and then I add their cash, then I take the tax out and, make it work.
Like I had a bride one time that grandma insisted that she had the 7-inch Santoku knife, but the bride knew she wanted the knife block set. So I said, okay, well, we're going to spend the 70 or whatever dollars that grandma gave you on other stuff, but you can just tell grandma she gave you the knife.
Yeah.
But she already knew she wanted to spend cash money out of her pocket for the half price item because it was the better deal to get it half price while she could.
Right.
Yeah. And then the other thing I have been doing too, I had one of my brides do this, and I love the idea. Wait and do their thank yous until they get their Pampered Chef items in, and have them put them out all on their kitchen table and take a picture of it and send it to Walmart. And then say, thank you for helping me fill my kitchen, rather than thank you for the mix and chop. Thank you for the measuring cup.
Oh,
thank
that's
you for
cute.
this.
I need to write that
Thank
down.
you for that. And so then that helps them on their thank yous, and they like that idea. And even if they did the thank you and they did the address for the on the envelope, some people do that when they come in. I'll say, save that for the wedding. If they came to the shower, they're coming to the wedding, or they're getting you something for the wedding usually. And so then they can use those and send them as postcards as those pictures.
What do you guys do with shipping? I mean, do you charge everybody shipping? Like if they buy a $10 item, you still charge them the full $5.25?
Yep.
I mean, there's always going to be somebody, whether it's a regular show or a bridal show, who's like, but I just want a $5 spice. Why do I have to pay $5.25 in shipping? And it's like, well, it's just kind of our company policy that every order gets $5.25 shipping.
That's a nice way to handle it.
Sometimes I'll turn around and, like if 2 people are right next to each other just buying something for the bride, I'll put it all on one order and split their shipping for them, But if they come up 5 people in between, I'm not going to mess with it.
Yeah, and
And
like the ones who like, I mean, I always have people at shows that they come together and they know, like I had a mother and daughter last Sunday. They knew the drill. They've been doing Pampered Chef for a long time, and they were going to get around that 525 by putting their order together. But I also was like, well, you're only getting one freebie. So you have to pick. Do you want to pay the shipping or do you want the 2 freebies? So it depends on where you're trying to save your pennies, I guess. Anybody else got anything they would like to add? Kayla, where do you put a note, and maybe I just was typing and didn't hear it, about the apron?
I usually tell my hosts talk to them about that, because it does cost $13 and I want them to understand that they have to pay me for that. And that's my cost at it. It's not like I am making anything on those, because they cost. I usually keep 2 or 3 on hand, just like this bridal shower that I have Monday. They called me July 5th. And so it was a good thing that I had everything on hand and I could come home, and I sent her the invitation. They mailed them out on that day. And, we got the ball rolling, and the bride I got the stuff in the mail the next day. And, it just came together really fast. And they're thinking 31 people tomorrow night. So out in BFE, I'm not looking forward to the drive. I have a lot of windshield time this week, I'm feeling.
Do you have them do anything with the apron? I remember one time I had people like sign little notes on it or something.
Oh, yeah. Yep, I take Sharpie markers. This would be right up your alley. I take Sharpie markers and I have them write a saying. So I usually prompt my host to think about it or to search it online if they aren't creative. Like kiss the cook, or, some well wishes or something kitchen oriented that they can write, because if your host does it first and I usually write something on it, then everybody else will follow suit. But if they just go up there and sign their name, then everybody's going to sign their name. So it's kind of fun to write something kind of quirky and fun on the apron. And I just do that in in different colored Sharpie markers. I'll lay about 5 out, and I'll tell them if they start to drive up, go toss them in the trash. I got more. So, and then they can just use those.
Do you make them match her wedding colors?
No.
Amy, I saw that look.
And you could coordinate the cardstock to their wedding colors. I've looked out a couple times and got the wedding colors with my cardstock.
Now, what do you do, or do you allow your hostess to say she wants to display them? I've had somebody do like a tribe poster board, or like a tree with the little cards on them, and I tell them that's all on them.
Yep.
If they want to
the other
display
thing
it.
is yeah, I tell them this is what I do. If you want to do anything additionally, more power to you. Have a good time. I'll be glad to get you the list, and you can do whatever you want to do. But 90% of them are like, nope, let's make this simple. And the other thing, I only do 1 recipe. Like tomorrow night, we're just doing chicken bruschetta. I don't do 2 recipes. I am not a caterer. I am not there to cater. I am there to show my Pampered Chef products. Because some people think that you should make the dessert, the main dish, the whole 9 yards. No, we started out doing a dessert, and she texted me back and she was like, I talked to my sister and she thinks we better have a main dish. And I'm like, okay, well, if we do the main dish, we can't do the dessert. So are you ordering a cake, or are you guys doing something for dessert? She goes, I'll make a cake. Don't worry about it. We'll do the main dish for the show. So that's what we went with then.
All right, Michelle.
We changed that today. And the shower's tomorrow.
Go ahead, Michelle.
Okay. Could you share with us your best tips on how to market the bridal showers?
Yes.
How to get so many, blah, blah, and so on. How do we go about getting these bridal showers?
Well, I've posted a few things on Facebook, especially around Valentine's Day, Christmas, and New Year's, because that's when people get engaged. Seems like, for around here anyways. And so I'll post little things on Facebook. I've also sent out to all my contacts with that. I know I use the same, what is it called? Door price slip as Tiffany does. They're 3 on a sheet, and I print them out myself, and I don't know where that is on my files. Otherwise, I'd go look for it. But on there, it says, just like I did a vending booth yesterday, I got 3 bridal shower referrals off of that, because it says, do you know of somebody getting married? Maybe and yes. and no. I mean, it says maybe yes, no. And then it says their name and contact phone number. So then they put that all down. So I'm like, heck yeah, I'll call them and see if they want to do a bridal shower with Pampered Chef. So, and some of mine are repeat customers, like this bridal shower tomorrow night. I did a bridal shower for her daughter 2 years ago. And so, and I also have magnets. If you don't have magnets, I highly suggest magnets. Like yesterday, I hand them out like they're candy, just because if they're going to take that home and put that on their fridge, that's how I got this bridal shower. She goes, I have your magnet on my fridge, and I thought I can go to you and see if you can do this bridal shower this quick for me.
Does the magnet say something about bridal on it?
No, it doesn't. It's just standard. Hold on. It's just the ones that are coming from the company. I don't know if you can see this.
Oh, from Merrill.
Yep.
Okay.
But they take it, I give them away at my shows to everybody that comes to my shows instead of a business card, because they're going to put it on their fridge. A business card's going to get thrown away. I know what I do with business cards. They get, after I have them for so long, they go in the trash. So a magnet is going to stay on their fridge. And so I think a lot of people, if they've been to a bridal shower, then they go that way. I also taught it at my shows as part of my booking stuff. You know, we have the bridal showers kind of like you do fundraisers. You know, you just throw it in there as if you know of somebody getting married and use it that way. Or if you see somebody post, you know, they're going to a bachelorette party or something like that, I'll just private message them and say, hey, have you guys ever thought about doing a Pampered Chef bridal shower? Or so-and-so is getting married. I'll private message them so it's not on Facebook. You know, I'll just private message them and say, hey, I see, congratulations, I see your sister's getting married. Have you ever thought about a Pampered Chef bridal shower? And they, I mean, if they say no, okay, great, not a problem. Thanks for, you know, your time. But then I just communicate that way with them. Answer your question, Michelle?
Yes, thank you.
And at my booths, I probably do more booths than most people do. I don't know why, but it gives me new contacts. Like yesterday, I got those 3 new leads of bridal showers, and I have not a clue who they are, and it's just 10 miles down the road from me. Oh, so, and I tell them the only way you're going to win my drawing is if you fill out the whole slip. I throw out the ones that just have their name and phone number on them. So you choose if you want to take the time to put your name and phone number on there. You're not going to win anything. But if you choose to fill it out for me, I will put you in my drawing. And I just do $25 of their choice for free rather than a certain item, because then you get people that say, I already have that item, I don't need that item, or I don't like that item, or things like that. So I just do a flat $25. Then I go through my door prize slips, draw out the one, you know, do the ones that took the time, because those are the people that I feel should win my prize, not the people that just are there to get something for free. And so then I draw out of those names and call them and give them their $25 in free product.
Awesome. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to contribute? We have about 13 minutes left if we need to use that time. Everybody looks so excited. We should have everybody made to put on their veil while we were on this call, if you still have it. All right. Well, I will get the documents from Kayla, and I have been typing in my Evernote as y'all have all been talking. So I'll try to go back and correct any of my typos. And then this recording of the will be converted to a YouTube video, and so that you'll be able to share the notes, the attachments, and the video with your teams. So if somebody else later on down the road joins and needs more information on bridal, we'll have all this information together.
Great.
So,
awesome. Thank you, Kayla. You did a great job.
Yay, Kayla. And then I think our next one is due to be the first Sunday in August, which I believe is the 2nd. And then Michelle, do you know who's on deck for that one?
I believe Kelly said Jane McDonald was hopefully doing that call, so we might check in with Kelly. See if
okay.
Jane's planning on doing that.
Great. So that will be for the entire Downey organization, sideline, downline, all that
Tiffany,
fun stuff. Yeah.
If people don't know who Jane is, she's above Kelly, so it's a really, really important call to be on because she's awesome.
Yes. Maybe she'll give us some secrets.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to stop the recording now.